Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Grand Tactician Civil War. This is episode number 5. We're continuing on with our Union 1862 campaign. Now, we open with a battle of the army under General Grant advancing now into Kentucky and Tennessee, and we meet up with First Corps of the Army of the Tennessee for the Confederates. And the battle, it's at Pittsburgh Landing, aka Shiloh, and I've got a significantly larger force. Let's hope that they remain for the fight and don't withdraw in the first second. Here's Grant entering the scene and starting to offer up orders. It took a little bit to get the orders on the go because Grant was still back at the original deployment place while everybody else was in our deployment zone. We do need to hold Pittsburgh Landing, so I have a single brigade. Pause. Contact. We have contact. Widow Howell Field. And that looks like that is the bulk of their forces. Let's get these guys to pull back. This is Harbut's forces. We're going to try to get... Oh, no. We want these guys this side here. Bulk of our forces are in that area, so these two divisions to the south are going to be able to come and probably flank these guys. They're already withdrawing from that position, but you can see we're going to very quickly have them essentially encircled. Potentially, anyway. Our cavalry walked right into the enemy and got themselves all shot up, so great job there, guys. 90 losses for no reason whatsoever. Now they're going to march right back into them. Sometimes the AI, those predestined orders are just a disaster waiting to happen. There is a fence here. Oh, hello. have wiped out their own artillery to be able to keep moving and stay away from contact. Shuttle can't fire through their own troops here, so we're taking this opportunity to prepare for the major fight at hand. Lindsay's trying to remount. They're gonna try to escape here, maybe? And there it is, the withdraw. Fortunately, I did take some casualties from a couple units in that one. It was a little more than necessary, but we do push back, hold with Grant. So, not the best battle, but when you have superior forces to that kind of number, that kind of extent, it sometimes makes more sense to quickly take that advantage and get through it, as opposed to when you're outnumbered and you really take your time strategically to make sure that you come out on top. So back on the campaign map, with the withdrawal of 1st Corps, Army of the Tennessee is going to start their push towards Waynesboro. Meanwhile, the Army of the Mississippi is going to come to the site of the battle and head off 1st Corps' chance at some sort of resurgence. And then the Army of the Ohio, who I quickly retreated with, is going to push back up towards Nashville, meaning we're going to have 2 armies ready to converge on the Army of Virginia, which is beginning its push right through the forest from Chattanooga up towards Nashville. Meanwhile, 3rd Corps in retreat from 7th Division. 2nd Corps actually making a push inland towards my Mountain Division. These two had an ongoing battle that was one that I couldn't join in on, but Mountain Department right there. We might be able to engage 2nd Corps, but right now things are kind of glitching out with them. You can see the number of reports are not quite accurate, so we're going to give Mountain Department a little chance to see those guys off. 5th Corps, meanwhile, holding Lynchburg, and then I'm preparing to make the move here. 4th Corps is on the move down towards Richmond. 3rd Corps has orders to also move down. The remnants of Army of Peninsula still camped here. They've only got 1,500 troops left. I'm going to take 2nd Corps and order a direct assault. All right, so I think we are ready to make the push. Army of Peninsula heading for Richmond. Jackson's corps is already there, but we have them significantly outnumbered from really any of these corps. I'm going to send 2nd and 4th Corps into the area. 1st Corps, meanwhile, is taking the bridgehead over here at West Point. And meanwhile, we are ready to make a move on their capital. Army of the Potomac itself, headquarters moving down here to where 3rd Corps is. 3rd Corps, once we take Richmond, they'll be free to move forward to like Petersburg or down into this area and hold south of Lynchburg, meaning 5th Corps and Mountain Department would then be able to push further west. Moment of truth, the capital, Richmond, on the verge of being captured. This is huge. And Jackson's corps remains camped out on the south side of the river underneath Richmond. And there we go. The siege of the area begins. Army of the Peninsula caught in between. 2nd Corps coming towards them. Meanwhile, 1st Corps looking to retake Fort Monroe. The Fort Darling garrison is what 4th Corps is engaged with here. Meanwhile, 2nd Corps has caught up to the very weakened Army of the Peninsula with just 190 left in strength. They've got no supply. They've been totally cut off. Army of the Potomac has moved into position as well. 2nd Corps. Here comes Jackson's corps. Let's get 2nd Corps actually into the fight. Can I get you in closer though? There we go. And there you go. Darling has fallen. That's going to give Richmond to us. And there it is. Richmond falls. Confederate capital is taken. President flees. Southerners in shock. Union presses on. Richmond is ours. British intervention stays at 69%, which is quite high. Darling has fallen. We're still working on Monroe, out on the Mississippi. With that, 3rd Corps is free to join the party. Do we want them to take... Maybe we're going to come around from behind. There we go. Get them down to Lynchburg. And that means we're going to move 5th Corps. They are taking heavy losses. Their attrition is quite high right now. And I'm not sure why. Jackson's corps has hopped on some riverboats. It looks like they might be trying to retreat from the area. I'm going to take 2nd Corps, and we're going to head towards Petersburg with them. Continue that advance. We're going to go ahead and move the mountain department nearby to 7th. So we're going to continue the advance here and allow them to support one another instead of the other way around. Let's start by taking the bridge. And then if things are still as they are now, then we'll move in and take Knoxville. Army of Virginia and Hill's Corps in support remain in the same position. Haven't moved, so I remain in the same position as well. That's kind of the one disadvantaged area we have. The Army of the Mississippi continue to make their southern trek. Fort Pillow, still working on trying to make that fall, but once it does, I think we'll be in good shape. Getting this Army of the Southwest deeper entrenched than they are now might be good for them, as they're down to 2,500 effective. Continued losses are scary, but maybe if we can insert them into a fort next to a supply depot. They'll be able to encamp there and recover. Mexican intervention escalates. The British and Spanish withdraw. Napoleon III vows to conquer Mexico. French push inland. The Mexican army in disarray. Meanwhile, our intervention holds at 69%. We've taken Petersburg. I think we can push to the crossroads down here with 3rd Corps. I think the Department of Virginia can now move inland and take over the occupation of the Confederate capital. And that means 4th Corps is free. We've already taken Petersburg, so I think the next thing is to head towards Norfolk. Meanwhile, 1st Corps will cover the sea route. Wow, 5th Corps already down into North Carolina. It's pretty crazy. Alright, situation hasn't changed here, so Mountain Department, go ahead and advance on in. Let's claim Knoxville. 7th Division, I can't seem to get them to move from their spot to go engage the Army of East Tennessee, which without supplies is struggling like mad. I would imagine our supply is going to run low before too long, so we need to find some way to get them to advance and take out the Army of East Tennessee. Just like that, less than a day, Knoxville is ours. 7th Division still not wanting to move. There's Jackson's Corps. They've retreated to Raleigh. Third Corps, lots of troops but supply is starting to get a little bit low. I think one of the best ways to take care of that is to be aggressive and head for Raleigh, head for Jackson. And let's see if we can claim the city and maybe get a chance to engage with Jackson, or will he retreat again? I'm going to have 4th Corps continue their push into Norfolk. I wasn't sure where Jackson was going to go or if there'd be any replacements. No sign of replacements, so we'll send him on his way. Jackson's Corps on the move. 3rd Corps, for some reason, stopped short of the city. And Jackson does decide to retreat. He knows it's a battle he can't win. It also frees up 5th Corps to push to Charlotte. Dang, we are making some progress early on in this war. All it took was a couple key battles won. And now the Army of Virginia is just hovering around Chattanooga, where they're not doing much good. Send the Mississippi River Squadron down to support the assault on Fort Pillow. And there it is. Fort Morgan is ours. Norfolk is ours. 1st Corps free to advance now onto the next position. Maybe Elizabeth. So you know what? I think I'm going to send them down to here. Oh, there you go. We just captured Elizabeth. There's that Army of the Peninsula again. Just 81 men. Third Corps starting their move again towards Raleigh. We've captured Raleigh. Really means that Second Corps can really join the push down here. Army of the Potomac itself, we might want them to move down to Raleigh. More central location. Found Third Corps, Army of the Mississippi, 7,500. Alright, only a single boat there. We're going to take our Potomac flotilla. See, we're slowly gaining total control of the north here. Let's bring them down and see if we can't take those guys out. Goes the Army of the Peninsula again on the march. Wow, First Corps already has made it down here. Jackson's Corps pushed to Wilmington. Third Corps making a move. And they're not alone. There we go, squadron. Falling back. They're not the only ones here, though. Oh, and here's their Charleston squadron. How'd they get in here? They had 3 ships. They're down to 2. That was the blockade. Just 7,000 troops. I think we need to make this push, force them either to retreat or to engage. So we're going to go ahead and make a move this direction. It looks like 3rd Corps might have moved on now the other direction. Retreating towards Columbia. That's all the time I have for this one, though. So we are going to go ahead and call that an episode here. We're in a very, very strong position in this fight against the Confederates right now. The Army of Virginia is still a threat, but they seem reluctant to move, even though I have set them to an aggressive behavior. Should be getting support here from the Mississippi River Squadron. Okay, there we go. And retreat. Nice if they can actually sink these guys. There's so many guns in the area. Somebody should be able to bring that ship down and force its surrender. Anyway, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.